Articulation is the last element of style that I'm going to be talking about in this series, and it's the last really big one. And it has to do with what you actually do on the specific notes. So the rhythm tells us when to play the notes tell us what notes to play, and the style part is sort of how we're playing this specific note and the specific shape of the note. The tempo may tell us how fast, the dynamics may tell us how loud or soft, the articulation tells us sort of the small shape of the particular note. So you can have really long sounding notes that sound something like this, which those are still just plain old quarter notes, but they're really long and really touching each other. I could do a staccato articulation, which is indicated by a little dot underneath the note or above the note, and that means that it's going to be a short note. So it's still quarter notes, still at the same speed, same rhythm, but now instead of filling up the whole beat, I'm going to have it sort of short with some space between. So you can see the legato long notes were nice and smooth and pretty. The short notes are a little bouncier and more lively, so they create a little bit of a different emotion, even though it's the same rhythm going at the same speed. Now, the articulations, like I said, can be written above or below, and there can be lots of different kinds of articulations. Legato and staccato is just one option. There's also other articulations that are almost like tiny dynamics. For example, an accent looks a lot like a diminuendo and it means something very similar, but instead of getting gradually softer over a few notes, you're going to get pretty quickly softer over just one note. So you can hear that the note starts loud and then really quickly gets soft. So that's another example of an articulation. There's lots and lots of articulations. You don't need to know all of them right now, but just know when you look in your music, if you see some extra information above or below the note heads, then there may be something to do with the articulation there. Whether it's a slur, which means that they're all smooth and connected, no separation at all, or if it's staccato and super short, that's where you'll find that kind of information, and you can hear how there's a little bit different quality to the music depending on what the articulation is.